Hey guys, Professor Shuckle here, and today I'll be going over our battles for the remainder of the Clash of Kings Season 2. As you recall from the first video that I uploaded, Clash of Kings is an auction-based team tournament. I was picked up by Galactic HQ, captained by my good friends GCS and Nochi Albina. Sadly, we started off our season with three series losses, two of which were like Game 7 deciders. So we lost 3-4 week 1, week 2, which were like kind of upsetting and demoralizing. But to make playoffs, we needed to push after a mid-season break to make playoffs. Like if we won out from mids to the end of the season and ended up with 4-3, we had a pretty good shot at making playoffs, especially because our differential wasn't too bad. So yeah, we decided at like mids to work harder, mock more, prepare early so that we could give ourselves the best shot of like making playoffs, because like frankly everyone wants to make playoffs. Also at mids, we made a couple of changes to like our drafts, and we got like a player replacement, and we got like Brown come in our team to add like a bit more activity and stuff. So yeah, I'll be going over our battles for like weeks 4 to 6 is what I played. Week 4, we were facing Meatball Substitutes, who are the reigning champions. Actually, they won season 1. I was slotted in the Little Cup again, and for the remainder of Clash, I actually just ended up using our Little Cup 3 draft, which is the Spritzy Purloin draft that was drafted with the intention of me using it, and we luckily had good matchups for Spritzy, so I was able to bring this team like every week. We did make a change to this roster. Before it had Panpour and Suwaddle, so we didn't really have Flying Resist on the team, so we decided to at mids to change this team and add Galer Meout and Feebas. Like, I don't expect Feebas to come, but that was like the best 1-point option remaining because 3P was taken, and Galer Meout just added like a Flying Resist as well as like U-turn, Fake Out, good scarf option, which is nice. We did lose our Ground Resist, but like that's not a big deal. So for week 4, our opponent was Bullycroc, who's like a pretty well-known Little Cup ladder player. Like I believe he was number 5 on the Little Cup ladder when we were playing, so pretty good opponent. They're rocking up with the roster of Rufflet, Binacle, Galar Farfetch'd, Venipede, Diglett, and Jangma O. They left Elgium and Mareep on the bench. So I was actually really surprised they left Elgium on the bench, because that was like their best response to Spritzy, and Eviolite Elgium would like recover, can actually like do a lot of work as well as stop Spritzy from being a threat. So was kind of surprised to not see that coming. Rufflet is really scary. We didn't bring the Galarmi out, so we don't have a Flying Resist on the team, so Brave Bird is kind of free. So this could be Scarf and just do like a lot of damage to the team. But if it's Scarf, it probably won't have Roost, so like it doesn't have longevity. Binacle is also scary. Shell Smash outspeeds like all our Scarfers. Like Taylor would only tie with it if it was 14 speed. It can also be like a lead rock set, and it has Tough Claw, so it can actually do a lot of damage. Galar Farfetch'd is also like pretty scary. We do have a Spritzy, but like a Sword Stance Poison Jab set could blow back Spritzy with like rocks up. Venipede kind of annoying, because a lead set with like spikes, T-spikes, like could be annoying in theory, but we have an Anorith, so not super worried about that. Diglett's really annoying. As I said, we don't have a Ground Resist on this team either, so it can trap like things pretty easily and kill them. What else? Yeah, it's also like 20 speed, so it outspeeds everything on my team. Yeah, it could also memento into Shell Smash Binacle, which could be a thing. Jangma O, I would expect this to be soundproof to stop like Choice Scarf Taylor from just clicking Boom Burst, because they don't have a Ghost or a Resist. Like Binacle's not the best resist. Yeah, As for our team, we're leading off with the Anorith, Mudbray, Talo, Krogong, Spritzy, and Purloin. Let's just quickly go over our team. First off, we have the Anorith, Berry Juice, Bell Armor so we can't be crit. We're running Aquajet, Rapid Spin, Knockoff, Rock Blast. Max Speed, because, what hit 17 speed here? Oh, just for Rufflet and like Galar, Farfetch'd and stuff, I think we could have been 17 speed because I believe Rufflet hit 16. So definitely a misprep there, but it's fine. Doesn't matter too much. Bulky, so it can kind of take hits and Berry Juice to go back to full. Like, I believe this eats an Aerialize from Scarf Rufflet. Aquajet is just for the Diglett if it tries to trap us, and Aquajet does a lot of damage. Rapid Spin to get rid of spikes or T-spikes that Venipede might try to set. And gives us a speed boost, in which case we can knock off items later, like Scarves or Eviolites or Berry Juice, which is nice. Rock Blast is just good stab versus the Rufflet, and it also ignores the stash of Venipede and kills it without it setting too many hazards up. This checks Venipede pretty well because even if it stash Endeavor, it would only activate a Berry Juice and put us back to full and allow us to get off like a free spin and be like faster as well as killing that thing, which is nice. Next up, we have Mudbray with like the Berry Juice stamina set, pretty similar to our week 1 set. It has Earthquake, Rock Tomb, Stealth Rock, Heavy Slam. I put rocks on this because I feel like I needed all the coverage on Anorith. Earthquake's pretty good stab. Their only immunity is Rufflet, and that's why we have the Rock Tomb. Heavy Slam is also pretty good because they don't have a resist on their team, especially because they didn't bring Marie. Rock Tomb slows them down, so it stops like Binacle and stuff from setting up. It also helps like with the Rufflet. Rock Tomb would make it slower, so I can do damage. And if it's not Scarf, Rock Tomb into Heavy Slam could potentially kill it if rocks are up. I'm running max speed just because there was a mock in which I lost a speed tie with like max speed Binacle and ended up losing because of it, so I didn't want to risk that, so I just ran max speed. Decently bulky because Mudbray has like very high attack, so I don't need to invest a lot to hit hard. So yeah, it eats a hit from Scarf Rufflet for sure and goes back to full, as well as get the defense boost, which is really nice. Next up, Talo with Choice Scarf. Guts, because I don't really need Scrappy as they don't have a ghost type, so Boom Burst hits everything. And Guts helps in case I get static powered by Mareep if I click like a U-turn or quick attack. So that would just power up my U-turn and quick attack, so like it could be situationally useful. Boom Burst is pretty good. The only resists are like Soundproof, Jangma O, and Binacle. But otherwise, like Boom Burst still does a lot to non-EVO Binacle, which is nice, especially if it like tries to Shell Smash. And if it's not max speed, we would actually be faster, like if it was 13 speed, because Shell Smash would put it at 26 and we at 27. U-turn just for momentum, Air Slash for like the Jangma O, which is soundproof. Yeah. Next up, Krogunk, Life Orb again, Vacuum Wave knockoff, Fake Out, Sludge Wave. Vacuum Wave kills like a Binacle whose sash is broken and definitely kills one at -1. Knockoff to get rid of like items and stuff. Fake Out just in case like we come in on like a double down or a double with Diglett. Fake Out into Vacuum Wave would kill the Diglett. Or if we don't get Min Roll on like one of them. Fake Out into Knockoff also has a pretty decent chance of killing Elgium, which is nice. Fake Out into Vacuum Wave would kill Binacle as well. Sludge Wave is just for like more damage versus the Jangma O or Mareep and stuff. Max Special Attack, decent attack as well to do more damage with Fake Out and Knockoff. Didn't really need the speed because we'd be clicking priority moves usually. Next up, we have our Spritzy with the same Trick Room Nasty Plot set. It's still decently bulky to take hit. I did run this as min speed with no IVs because I wanted to outspeed Elgium in Trick Room, because like even though I'm giving it Analytic Psychic, I wanted to be able to click Draining Kiss first and heal back, because like Analytic Psychic only does like 45 and stuff, so I would be able to heal up, especially if I have a Nasty Plot and 1v1 that thing. Thunderbolt is just for the Rufflet, which is decently bulky, so it doesn't take a lot from Draining Kiss, so Thunderbolt is like better there to kill that thing. Does like I believe it kills Scarf Rufflet after rocks, so that's nice. Nasty Plot just to boost up our attack and do more with Draining Kiss and heal that way, so we don't need Wish Protect. And Trick Room just so we are the fastest thing on the field. Purloin, Eviolite again, Prankster, so we get priority knockoff with Copycat or other moves. Protect so we can scout and then copycat the move. Like if Diglett traps us, for example, we can protect as the click Earthquake and then copycat Earthquake, kill it. Thunderwave is just like a last ditch resort versus Shell Smash Binacle or like a Galar Farfetch, so that like Mudbray and Krogan could outspeed it. Copycat just to like which gets priority with Prankster, the usual set, and knockoff is like the best move in low cup, so we want to spam that as much as possible. So yeah, let's get into the match. My best lead here I thought was Taylor, because I don't want to lead Mudbray just in case they let Binacle, which always puts me in a tricky spot whether I want to Rock Tomb or I want to swap, or like because I need to figure out the set, and there's a good chance I just lose my Mudbray doing that. So I thought Taylor was my best lead. If they let Binacle, I could just U-turn out into my Krogan. So even if they smashed, I could just Vacuum Wave kill it. And because versus a Taylor, they're not clicking Earthquake, they're clicking like Liquidation or Rock move, both of which are resisted by Krogan. Immune to Water due to Dry Skin, and then resist Rock move. And then I expect them to run like Poison Jab and not Zen Headbutt or Earthquake, because like they want to damage the Spritzy, which would otherwise wall that thing. Yeah, if they lead Venipede, I can just U-turn and go into Amulet pretty freely. If they lead Diglett, I can hard swap into Mudbray. If they lead Jangmo, I can U-turn, same thing. So yeah, I decided to lead off with Tail, as I actually decided to lead off with Venipede. This makes me think it's Focus Sash, but I still just feel U-turn's my best play, as I actually protect to get the speed boost. But I decided to U-turn anyway and show that I'm Scarfed, just to make them like worry about it in the back of their mind. I go Anorith as they show Pin Missile, which does like no damage, and I'm able to spin, which gives me the speed boost, which is really nice just in case anything else comes, because I'm faster than everything now. Here I decided to click Rock Blast. I do get a crit, but I'm not sure how important that was, because if this was Sash, that didn't matter, because if I hit Rock Blast, I would at least get 2 hits and it would die. If it was Berry Juice, there was a chance this would live if I only got like 2 or 3 hits. But like that would actually be the best case for me, because I would be able to get a spin off later, and so there wouldn't be this spike on my field left. But because I got the crit, like if they were Berry Juice, the crit was actually beneficial for them, and if they were Focus Sash, the crit didn't really matter because they would die anyway. So yeah, but after the nice speed boost now because of Rapid Span, the Galar Farfetch comes in, and I can't really kill this in one hit, but I really want to knock this off just in case it's Eviolite or like Leak or Scarf, so in that like I do more damage with like other stuff like Vacuum Wave and Purloin and stuff. So I just decide to knock. Now you can only get rocks up, which would be annoying, but I can also get up my rocks, so it's not the end of the world, and they only have 1 layer of spike. But yeah, I wanted to really get rid of the item of this, and if he went for SD, I could always do damage the next turn and put it in range of like Vacuum Wave on Krogan, so I wasn't too worried if he SD'd. He just goes for close combat as he's Scarf, which is fine. Now I know this thing can't one-hit KO Spritzy, so I can actually Trick Room here. He goes hard Rufflet, which is like, yeah, as I said, they didn't bring Elgym, so they didn't really have anything for this, especially since once Venipede died, because nothing on his team resisted Draining Kiss. But since Rufflet came and it actually does a decent amount of damage with Brave Bird, not enough to kill us, but enough to 2-hit KO us, I just decided to Thunderbolt because Draining Kiss does not 2-hit KO this. I Thunderbolt, and they actually revealed to be Eviolite Rufflet, as it only did 58%. Unfortunately for my opponent, I get a para into full para, which is really unfortunate for them. And then, since I'm in speed, I actually still outspeed even after the para, and kill this thing. This is really unfortunate for my opponent because like they could have gotten enough good damage versus my Spritzy. I'm not sure how much it mattered in the long run, because whatever came in after would allow me to heal back a lot with Draining Kiss, just because Farfetch'd and Jangmo are weak, and like Binacle also would not be able to kill me without Shell Smashing, and there's still 2 turns of Trick Room left, so I would be able to gain back health on it, or at least kill that thing with like Draining Kiss into Thunderbolt. So yeah. Anyway, leads out Jangmo. I don't really know what this is, so instead of Nasty Plotting, I just go for Draining Kiss just to scout for like damage. As he reveals Protect, which is good bring, I guess, to stall out Trick Room. But I just go for Draining Kiss again. They reveal to not be like Rosalie or Eviolite because a crit on Draining Kiss unboosted should not kill this thing. So they were probably like Berry Juice. So the crit's really unfortunate, but I'm not really sure what they went for. Like, they could have gone for Dragon Dance, but a +1 Iron Head or Poison Jab doesn't kill me. So I would be able to get up a Trick Room again and get all my health back on the next turn. So yeah, I'm not really sure. Like, this is unfortunate, but again, I'm not really sure how much it mattered in the long run. But yeah, now they don't really have anything for Spritzy, and it's pretty much game over because none of their mons can one-hit KO me even with like a crit, so I can always Trick Room up again. As they go into Diglett and trap me, I just go for Trick Room again. This time I decide to Nasty Plot just in case they were like Sash and I Draining Kissed and they Mementoed and then they went into Binacle. So I just decide to Nasty Plot so that even if they Memento, I will be at least neutral. And that's exactly what they decide to go for, which is Memento. And going to Binacle, I decide not to Thunderbolt just in case this thing was like Berry Juice and they smash and go back to full. So I just decide to Draining Kiss first just to like scout for damage on the set. As they just go for Poison Jab, which does a decent amount of damage and get the poison. No big deal. Here, I decide to go for Thunderbolt because now I know it would kill the Binacle. They go into Farfetch'd, but 2 Thunderbolts kill that thing, so I just click Thunderbolt in case they want to double out into Binacle. Here, I don't want to let it set up, so I click Thunderbolt as he clicks Poison Jab and takes me out. But that's GG as I just go Krogan can click Vacuum Wave and get my kill. So yeah, that was our week 4 battle. Really unfortunate, like the hacks was really unfortunate for my opponent because it meant the game ended instantly. But even if the hacks didn't happen, I believe we had the pieces to win. Like, I'm not sure what their win con was. Yeah, because Jangmo, even if it Dragon Dance, couldn't beat like Mudbray at +1, and Mudbray was looking really strong there as well. Like, if their plan was Memento, Shell Smash, Binacle, I still had like Fake Out into Vacuum Wave Krogunk for that. I also had T-Wave Purloin. The teammate actually said like that hacks didn't matter too much and that I would have won the game because they didn't bring anything for Spritzy. But yeah, still feels really bad for my opponent that I got hacks and the game ended this way. So yeah, sorry about that. As for my teammates, we finally piped up this week and ended up winning and getting our first win of the series, first win of the season. I believe we ended up with 5-2, which is good. Like, it also helps with our differential and like builds on momentum as we take on as we go into week 5. So yeah, so for week 5 we played the Triumphant, and this is actually a really tricky series because the Triumphants have like the best roster for standard players. So here Lil Cup was really important because I believe we needed to win 2-0 in Lil Cup so that we had the best chance of winning this series, just because of how hard our standard matchups were. And like, yeah, so we really need to win in Lil Cup and low tier to have like a shot at, like, the best shot at winning the series. So for this week, our captain OG Albino had to sit out because he had finals. So I had to really step up and ensure we won and like take a little bit of a lead role. For week 5, our opponent is G Blaze. Yeah, and they have a roster of Onyx, Wingull, Lickitung, Elekid, Hetana, and Grubbin. What's surprising is they left out Ferroseed. Like, our matchup was actually awful. Yeah, like, it doesn't look so right now, but they had a Ferroseed and an Impidimp, which put like so much pressure on my team. Like, Ferroseed completely walled Spritzy and stopped me from running my like preferred Nasty Plot Trick Room set. So yeah, like, I was really surprised they didn't bring it. I was also like happy not to see Impidimp because first I thought I did nothing, but Life Orb Impidimp actually ran through my team, and like besides Spritzy, and Spritzy was already pressured by Wingle to like because I didn't have a Wingle switch in on my team, so Spritzy had to check Wingle. Onyx was really annoying as well because I don't have a ground resist on my team. Lickitung is really annoying because I only have super effective coverage on Krogunk and Mudbray to hit it. Elekid's okay since I have a Mudbray, but can be annoying because it's 20 speed and thus outspeeds everything. Hatena is kind of annoying too, stops me from getting my rocks up, and can nuzzle thing as well as Calm Mind. Grubbin can set webs and like has T-Wave, Volt Switch and stuff, so yeah. This was a really rough matchup, but we still had like pretty interesting tech to like play this game. Yeah, so let me go through our team quickly. First up, we have Mudbray, which is Choice Scarf. Shoutouts to Skyhorse for the suggestion. Initially, it was like a berry juice set with like rocks, but I needed like all the coverage. And yeah, so we're running Rock Slide, Earthquake, Close Combat, and Endeavor. Running 14 speed and then max attack Adamant. 14 speed with Scarf means we hit 21, which is faster than Elekid by 1 point. Max attack Adamant to hit as hard as we can. Rock Slides for the Wingle, like straight Okos it, I believe. Earthquake is just, they don't have a resist for Earthquake once Wingle is gone. So, like Grubbin can resist, but if rocks are up, I believe it is 2-hit KO'd by like Earthquake after rocks, which is nice. Same for CC. In fact, Wingle is like 2-hit KO'd after rocks with CC, so it's not even a switch in. And CC hits everything else at least neutrally. Endeavor was just in case they brought Curse, Rest Talk, Lickitung, because my team didn't really have the best way of breaking that. So yeah. Next up, we have Anoret with the boots. They had a lot of hazard stacking options. They had rocks, they had webs, they had spikes on Fire Seed. And like stacking was really free versus my roster. So I decided to be heavy duty boots so I don't take like any damage or get slowed down by webs. Rapid Spin, which is the main purpose of this mod, like its main utility is to get the Rapid Spin off and then hopefully a knockoff as well. Like our goal is to knock off as many items as possible so that CC and like CC Mudbray becomes a win con at the end. Rocks, just in case we can get them up. It's nice for the Wingle, for chipping Elekid, for chipping Grubbin. Knockoff just to get rid of items. Pretty good versus the Onyx as well because we want to get rid of the Berry Juice. And Aquajet again for the Onyx. Knockoff into Aquajet kills like non-EVO Onyx, which is really nice. Max speed because we want to be faster than Onyx by 1 point, which could run like Rock Blast, which should be annoying. Aquajet also helps with like a DD Onyx. And some attacks so that knockoff into Aquajet kills, and then bulk so that we live hits and can get our spin off. Next up, we have Krogunk with the Berry Juice and Dry Skin. With like max attack Adamant. We're still running Vacuum Wave, and then we have Sucker Punch, Drain Punch, and Knockoff. The main moves we'll be clicking is Knockoff and Drain Punch. This is like our best response to Lickitung and pressures it, as well as Fire Seed. Sucker Punch is really nice for the Wingle, which I expect to be like Hurricane, Scald, Knockoff, and U-Turn. So I don't expect it to have Roost or Defog. So if it's in versus Krogunk and it's at like 50-60%, I could actually pick it off with Sucker Punch, which is really nice. Vacuum Wave is again just for the Onyx and hits it harder, especially if it's set up and because Onyx is faster. So Vacuum Wave does like 40 to 50 or something, which is nice. Yeah, Berry Juice just to like switch into Lickitung or Fire Seed a little easier and go back to full rather than Life Orb. Like Life Orb could work, but I wanted Krogunk to be healthy because we needed it to pressure like a lot of things. We're running 14 speed this week, a little faster than usual because we wanted to be faster than max speed modest Hatena, which could be annoying. Next up, we have Purloin. Let me just preface this by saying our opponent said before the game that Purloin was not a Pokemon, so which obviously I took personally because Purloin is my favorite Lil Cup mod, and I cannot stand slander versus it, so we had to show him the power of Purloin. So we're running Eviolite, but we're actually running Adamant with attack investment. And Purloin actually has a really good matchup here. So we're running U-turn, which is for momentum and to like get out of sticky situations. Knockoff, which again, knockoff is the most busted move in Little Cup. Copycat, which like hopefully we want a copycat knockoff because we want to spam the best move in Little Cup as much as we can. And Protect, which is again works really well with Protect and Copycat, allowing us to scout what they want to go for and then Copycat kill that thing. This put in a lot of work in like mocks where like it swept like in a lot of mocks just with Copycat and Knockoff and Protect. Like yeah, so this has a really good matchup. So yeah, next up we have the Galar Miat with Scarf again, Tough Claws. We have U-turn, Iron Head, Crunch, and Fake Out. Crunch will probably be the move I try to lock into the most. They don't really have a resist for it on their team apart from Impedim, which Iron Head covers, so they probably wouldn't never switch into Galar Miat. U-turn's good for momentum. Fake Out is just in case like things get out of hand, like maybe, or if you need it for like a Wingle or something, especially if you lose a Scarf or something. So yeah, Tough Claws also boost like Fake Out and Crunch, I believe. So yeah, again we're running max speed, so 14 so that we hit 21, which is faster than I hit by 1 point. Everything else into attack and a little bit of bulk. Yeah, and last we have Spritzy, Eviolite, but Bedef, more Bedef than physically defensive, so it checks like Wingle. It can also check Onyx to an extent with like Wish Protect, Moonblast. I couldn't run the Nasty Plot Trick Room set just because of the Fair Seed, as this does not get any coverage for it at all. There's no hidden power fire allowed, and sadly it didn't get Mystical Fire, so that set was out of the question. But I mean, if I knew they wouldn't bring Fair Seed, I would totally take Nasty Plot Draining Kiss again. Yeah, Wish Protect, Moonblast. Moonblast is actually pretty decent stab versus the team except for the Fair Seed. I was initially running Covet to steal like an item if my Eviolite was knocked off, or like a Wingle knocked off the item and stuff. But I found in mocks that Fair Seed actually just stacked hazards versus me, or clicked T-Wave, or clicked like Lead Seed. So I was never actually able to lose my item and click Covet. So I switched it to Aromatherapy just so I could go hard Krogunk on Licky Tongue and Fair Seed without worrying about like T-Wave or Body Slam para. It also helped with like Impedim, Prankster, T-Wave, or like Hetena's Nuzzle. So I just thought Aromatherapy was a nice way to get around that. So yeah, let's see how the match went. As for leads, I thought my best lead was Purloin. I had Protect to scout for anything. If they lead Onyx, I get to knock off the Berry Juice immediately. If they go for rocks, I can Copycat and get my own rocks up. Yeah, and if they DD, I can knock, then Protect to see what they click, and if they click like Earthquake or something, I can Copycat and kill that thing. If they lead Wingle, Purloin's actually my best lead. I Protect to see if they try to catch the Spritzy with Knock, and if they click Knock, I can actually Copycat knock off that thing, and then it's lost its Life Orb or Scarf. I also lived like any hit from Life Orb Wingle, so it was just my best lead in general. Yeah, if they lead anything else, Knockoff is pretty good. If they lead Grubbin, I can knock off its Sash or like Evio if it is. If they set up webs, again, I can try to set it up since Hatena doesn't want to stay in versus Purloin. So yeah, I lead off with Purloin, and the opponent decides to lead off with Grubbin. I just go for knockoff. This can't kill me in one hit unless I take it to Swarm, which I didn't think I would. And I didn't think they would click like X Scissor since I could have gone Mudbray. As they actually go for Volt Switch, which is fair, and they go Elekid. Again, as I said, they didn't have like the best Purloin switches, especially to knockoff. So yeah, here I clicked Copycat, so I get the Volt Switch. So I get like a fast Volt Switch off, and I can go into Mudbray. Especially if they decide to click like Cross Chop or Brick Break, and that would just bounce off Mudbray. But they actually reveal. So I Volt Switch and I decide to go hard Mudbray. But they actually reveal Covet, which is really which is interesting prep. Like kudos to my opponent for that bring, and it kind of stops like my Mudbray and like steals an item, and I needed my item on all my Pokemon. Uh, so yeah, like Scarf allocate is not a problem, but my Mudbray losing Scarf is really annoying because the endgame is looking really hard. Like that Wingle just became a lot harder to deal with. And since I'm not like berry juice and stuff, I can't really heal this without wish support from Spritzy. And Spritzy's kind of pressured. So yeah, like in hindsight, I wish I just protected this guy what the Elekid wanted to do. Like if he wanted to click a fighting move, I could have hard switched into Mudbray without problem, or like even Spritzy. So yeah, at that time I didn't think about Covet at all, so that was completely on me. But good bring on my opponent for sure. Um, yeah, here I just decided to click Rock Slide in case they went like made a misplay and go Wingle and they would lose their Wingle. Rock Slide still does like decent damage, and they go for Ice Punch and do a lot of damage because Elekid is strong. Unfortunately, we didn't live the next one even with the +2 boost. Like 31 was like the mineral, so I would have died. But I can go into Spritzy pretty freely because I know this is not Life Orb, so like this just bounces off. Here, I really wanted to like double, but I want to click Moonblast for 2 reasons. Just to see what the response to Spritzy is since they didn't bring Fair Seed, because they don't have a Moonblast switch in on their team. And I also wanted to see what the item was on whatever that switched in. So they bring in Lickitung, which is fair because this Moonblast is just going to bounce off. But that reveals their Eviolite, so that's good to know. And I already know the 2 Eviolites, so I know the Hatena is not Eviolite, which is good. And the Wingle is probably like Life Orb and Scarf. Here, I make a huge misplay. As I said when I was going through my team, my play on Lickitung was always hard Krogunk. But here, because I was worried about Wingle, because I lost my Scarf on Mudbray and I was so worried about the endgame, I clicked Wish, and he goes for SD Lickitung, which was 100% the bring, like an setup Lickitung was really good here. And yeah, so I decided to go into Mudbray just in case they get greedy and go for another Wish just because I clicked Wish. But they actually make a good play Body Slam and kill my Mudbray, which was unfortunate. And they forced me to go into Krogunk. But the problem is Krogunk actually doesn't kill this. If I was Focus Blast, I might have had a shot, but with just Drain Punch, I don't actually kill this. And yeah, here, I feel like I made a misplay again. I should have probably clicked Drain Punch, because then Drain Punch would put it into Iron Head range. But if they decided to save Lickitung and bring it back later on Spritzy, then Knockoff was the better play just so I could do more damage to this thing because it's so bulky. So I actually decided to click Knockoff. Oh, also because if I got Mineral on Drain Punch and Mineral on Galarmi at the Iron Head, I would not kill this, and I probably would have lost the game. So I decided to just click Knockoff, so I gave myself the best chance of killing this thing with like Galarmi out. As he goes for Body Slam and kills me. So my only play now is to go Galarmi out and click Iron Head because nothing else on my team would kill this. So yeah, that's what I do. Here I go for Iron Head. They don't really have a switch in. Like they could go Wingle, but Wingle's frail, so it would take a lot of damage. Grubbin's lost its Eviolite and would die. Onyx doesn't want to take it. Like it would probably proc its Berry Juice and go back to full, but yeah, it doesn't really want to, like if it's their win con, they probably don't want to take it back. And I still had Aqua Jet Anorith for that anyway. So yeah, I go for Iron Head, and like unfortunately for my opponent, I get a flinch. So initially I thought like the flinch was really bad, and I apologize. Because if they were like an earthquake or something, I would have lost my Galarmi out and the game plays out differently. But they told me they actually clicked Wish, and 44 was actually the mineral with Iron Head. And so if they only had SD, Body Slam, Wish, Protect, they could not beat my Galarmi out. So I'm not sure how much this mattered because probability-wise, they cannot stall me out with Wish, Protect. And to kill my Galarmi out, they would have to click Body Slam on a turn, which means they would like never end with a healthy Lickitung. And even if they kill my Galarmi out, I go Purloin, get a knockoff on this, and now I have a Prankster, like a priority knockoff versus anything else that wants to switch in. And my Purloin would be at like pretty good health, so like they wouldn't have a switch to my Purloin. and I would still be able to have a good shot with like Spritzy and Anrat and Purloin. So yeah, I'm not sure how much I'm at. Like, obviously it sucks, but if the plan was to wish stall this, the Ironhead flinch would be in my favor eventually, and like the flinch would be in my favor since it's 30%. So yeah, like I'm not sure. Like, if the wish stalling was not the play, like I apologize if they actually went for Earthquake and killed me, but yeah, wish tech was not beating this, so I would like didn't matter as much as they thought it did. Like they thought I lost them the game instantly, but I don't think it did. Um, yeah, I go for Ironhead, kill the Licky Tongue after the flinch. They go Grubbin. I just decide to Ironhead. I wanted to see how much damage it did, and maybe if I killed it. I didn't really calc it. Like I didn't calc how bulky this was. They live and go for Thunder Wave, which is fine since I have Aromatherapy on my Spritzy. I actually switch out into Spritzy to Aromatherapy instantly as they go for Webs, which is again fine because I can spin with Amulet later as I'm boot. They click Wild Charge and like do no damage because this thing is weak and probably super bulky since it took that Ironhead super well. I click my Wish, and now since I know this can't do any damage to me, I just click Aromatherapy. I don't need to protect, and that's exactly what I do. So my Galarmiat is not paralyzed anymore and looking like so I win con. Here I go hard Amulet because I don't know what this Hatena wants to do. If he wants to like set up, which is what he goes for, Amulet was my play, and it was my easiest way of getting a spin off versus his team. And then getting a spin off was really nice because then I could knock off whatever tried to come in. So yeah, I'd get a rapid spin. Is they go for Psychic, and since my Amulet is decently bulky, they don't kill, which is nice. And now I'm speed boosted and get a free knock on whatever comes in. And this decide to sack off Grubbin, which is fair. And they go Onyx. I need to get rid of its Berry Juice, so I just do that. And here is where my opponent makes the first fatal mistake. Is instead of killing this with like Heavy Slam or Body Press or Rock Blast or whatever, like any other coverage they had, they decided to click Earthquake, and especially with weak armor, and that is a huge misplay because now I go Purloin, and now I have a copycat Earthquake, which kills this thing. If they went for Heavy Slam or Rock Blast, I wouldn't have been able to kill this, and I would have needed to knock and then copycat knock, and I would have had to take damage on my Purloin. But now I can freely click Earthquake. Like even if they went Wingull to scout for this, it didn't really help them because I could protect on that, which they didn't know I had, and if like still get a knockoff on because I lived a hit from Wingull at this point, and then I would have Prankster knockoff versus anything else, and Prankster knockoff kill like Elekid would have done a lot to Onyx. So yeah. Here I protect to scout, and they make another mistake as they go for knockoff, probably expecting the Spritzy. As I said, that's what I had to protect for. Now I can just copycat, get the knockoff, and do a lot of damage, get rid of its life orb. So it still does a decent chunk. It might have been modest, but yeah. But now I can kill copycat and kill that thing. Yeah, they go Elekid. I protect just to see what they want to go for. If they went for like a fighting move, I could have copycat that and kill this thing as well. But as they go for Thunder Punch, I can actually just go Spritzy because I know it's not life orb and I can eat a hit. They double into Hat, which is good. Again, trying to abuse Spritzy. As I go hard into Galarmiat, like because I didn't want to let this thing set up. I clicked Crunch because I thought it was just my safest to like it killed an Elekid coming in. As they reveal Colbur, I guess, which is why they would stand on like Purloin, or that was the way of getting around Purloin. But here now I can just click knockoff, and that is GG because copycat knockoff would kill the Elekid. Little unfortunate for my opponent with the flinch. I don't think it mattered if their plan was to wish stall my Ironheads, because again mathematically it was in my favor to flinch them. Their biggest misplay was clicking Earthquake with Onyx and letting my Purloin get a kill. And yeah, they did bring some really cool tech, like Covet Elekid completely neutralized one of my win cons and Scarf Mudbray. Using SD, Licky Tongue, and Combine Hat to punish Spritzy was really nice as well. Yeah, but not bringing Pharisee, it's kind of wild, but I guess it's fair because me bringing Nasty Blood, Trick Room versus a Pharisee would have been a really bad bring, so fair enough, they call me out on that. But yeah, I'm happy Purloin put in work, and we can show that Purloin's a really good Pokemon, and Prankster Knockoff is broken in Low Cup. So yeah, unfortunately, we didn't win the series. We lost 2-5. We did get lucky quite a bit during the series, but unfortunately, it wasn't enough to get us the series win, which put us 1-4 and at like really bad. Like we believed we were out of playoffs because like I think most teams were like just needed a win or something. Like we thought we were out of playoffs at that point because 4 losses was just too much, and our diff was bad because we lost 2-5 and everything. So yeah, week 6 I wasn't actually supposed to play. It was supposed to be a break week since I played all 5 weeks, but there was a mix-up unfortunately, so I had to sub in for Skyhorse for Lil Cup. Luckily they had the Spritzy team, so I didn't mind it too much because this team is my favorite. For this week 6, we were playing Boomers, who were already out at this point, so I just decided to have like a fun Lil Cup build for this week and not bring like my usual Purloin and like usual sets. I still did pretty well in mocks with it, and like the team was solid, and the matchup was like even and decent. So, but yeah, it was a fun little build. For this week, we're playing Remaxo on Boomers, and they have a roster of Apom, Scraggy, Trapinch, Natu, Nosepass, and Spritzy. I believe they left Seal and Naplan on the bench, so they have their own Spritzy, but I have a Galar Meowth, and Spritzy can't touch Steel type, so it's a pretty good response to that. Trapinch is really annoying. There's no ground resist on my team, so yeah, if it traps something like Galar Meowth or Krogunk or something, it's really unfortunate, so I have to make sure I don't send out my Galar Meowth before Trapinch is gone. Scraggy is always scary, especially if it's like Ironhead and gets a flinch versus Spritzy. It can be really annoying. Apom's just scary. With Life Orb, it hits so hard, and like there's not too many switches for like Fury Swipes, especially because I don't want to get knocked off too much, so I can't switch versus that very well. Nosepass is really bulky, sets up rocks pretty easily. Body Press does a lot of damage too, and it gets high heavy slam and stuff. Natu stops me from getting my rocks up. So yeah, but let us look at the team, which is a fun little one. First off, we have Anorith with Berry Juice, Rapid Spin, Knockoff, Rock Blast, Brick Break. Berry Juice, just so we actually get a hit from a lot of these Pokemon. Especially also helps us with like stop us from getting trapped with Trapinch if we have like a Berry Juice, and we can live in, especially if we're like at a high health, first impression would not kill and give us Berry Juice and put us back to full. Rapid Spin to like get rid of rocks and get the speed boost, most importantly. Knockoff to get rid of items and Berry Juice, especially versus like Nosepass. Rock Blast is just good versus like the Apom and Natu and like Spritzy and stuff, especially if its EV Light is gone. And Brick Break helps with the Scraggy. It does enough where Scraggy cannot Dragon Dance twice. Because if it Dragon Dances twice, it's game over. Like Scraggy is just broken. So yeah, Brick Break also does like super effective damage versus Nosepass. So Knockoff into Brick Break would always put that thing in like range of other stuff. Next up, we have the Galar Meowth again with Choice Scarf, Tough Claws, Ironhead, U-Turn, Player of Seed Bomb. 14 speed because Apom hits 20, so we want to be 20. Or Apom hits 19, but if we were 13 speed, we would speed tie with it at 19, so we want it to be 21. Max attack. Ironhead is just pretty good stab. They don't actually have a resist on this team, which is nice. U-Turn for momentum, Player off to one-hit KO the Scraggy, and Seed Bomb was for the Seal in case it came, because I don't have a lot of coverage for Seal. Next up, we have Mudbray, which is running Rocky Helmet, which is not an item you commonly see on Lil Cup, but this is like our switch to Apom, especially if it hits Fury Swipes and his Life Orb. It would take about 90% just from hitting us, and with each hit we get stamina, so each corresponding hit would do less. And so yeah, basically it would kill itself. Like if it switches in on rock and clicks Fury Swipes versus us, I'm pretty sure it does. So Yeah, which is really like funny and interesting. Um, Close combat, stealth rock, earthquake, rock tomb, rocks. Just in case we get it, rock tomb's really nice in case the Natu comes in, because if I click rock tomb and I can click rock tomb again because Natu dies to 2, and I would get a rock tomb buff on whatever wants to come in, and then I can hit earthquake or close combat. They don't really have the best earthquake switching. For the longest time, I was gonna run heavy slam, but then Scraggy's just so scary that I wanted to run close combat more than heavy slam, so we switched that out. And earthquake still did a decent chunk to Spritzy, and I have like Galar Meowth and Krogunk for it. So yep. Next up, we have Krogunk with Berry Juice and Dry Skin, with Knockoff, Drain Punch, Vacuum Wave, and Poison Jab. Initially, I was going to run Baton Pass so I could not be trapped by Trapinch, as it can't kill me with like First Impression because I resisted, and I need to be super low for it to kill with Faint. But since I don't have a ground resist on my team, it was like, what do I Baton Pass into? So I just decided, okay, it's fine. I just want to get like damage off with on whatever, like knock it off and stuff. And if it's weakened, I can even pick it off with Drain Punch or Vacuum Wave. Knock off to just get rid of items. Drain Punch versus the Scraggy versus the Nosepass. Vacuum Wave, just like if Apom has been chipped enough by Rocky Helmet, Mudbray, and Life Orb damage, and it also helps with like a DD Scraggy. Scraggy also cannot really touch this because we resist knock and like dark and fighting coverage with this. And if it runs Iron Head for Spritzy, it doesn't have coverage for this unless it doesn't run DD. So between Spritzy and Krogunk, Scraggy can only hit 1 if it's DD and has stab. So yeah. Poison Jab was for the Spritzy. I think after knock, if it's been knocked, I think Poison Jab just kills it, which is nice. We're running 13 speed. I think 12 is the max speed Trapinch can run, or 11, so I guess more than that. Yeah, mostly again, like most of his team, the ones I want to hit are slower, and the other ones I just want to click Vacuum Wave on. Max attack Adamant to do as much damage. Special attack investment, so Vacuum Wave does more. Next up, we have Purloin, which is super funny set. It's Life Orb instead of the usual Eviolite, and it's running Unburden. Just because I don't really need Prankster copy. Oh, mostly because I couldn't fit Copycat, so there's no Prankster shenanigans to be done. And so in case I could call them out on a knockoff and stay in, and that would activate my Unburden, and then I would be faster than anything that wanted to come in. So the main idea of this is they don't have the best Purloin switching, so their knockoff switching should be Spritzy. And knockoff into Life Orb Gungshot kills the Spritzy, like any form of Spritzy. So that was the main idea behind this, and then Purloin would go crazy by knocking off anything else that would like come in. Protect was in case the Trapinch wanted to trap me and click First Impression, so I needed Protect for that. And then Play Rough is for the Scraggy, which like if it thinks I can set up on my Purloin, it has another thing coming. Max attack, max speed, 16 speed lets me outspeed like max speed Scraggy by 1 point. Didn't go for 17 because I didn't know how fast Natu would be, and like Natu would probably switch out on this anyway, expecting Eviolite, which would give me a free knock. So like I was basically calling out my opponent's bluff that they wouldn't attack a Purloin with the Natu. Max attack Adamant, max attack Jolly, to hit as hard as possible and just some little bulk. 19 HP, so that you only take 1 HP damage from Life Orb. Then we have Spritzy with then Eviolite, so that it's kind of bulky. With Nasty Plot 3 attacks this time rather than Trick Room. And enough speed so that we creep their Spritzy, which would usually run like 12 speed. So with 92, we actually outspeed them. Also probably outspeed the Nosepass. Nasty Plot, Draining Kiss, Energy Ball, Flash Cannon. They don't really do a lot of damage to like a physically defensive Spritzy. So if we Nasty Plot up and they don't have the best Draining Kiss answer, we can get back a lot of health with. So we can Nasty Plot freely and then get a lot of health back with Draining Kiss. Energy Ball was like to Oko like the Trapinch with Energy Ball. Oh, yeah, just to do more damage. Then Flash Cannon was for the Spritzy, obviously, and like also hit the Nosepass and stuff. Again, they didn't have the best switching for, Flash Cannon as well. In hindsight, this should have probably been energy ball, thunderbolt or energy ball, which would still hit the seal and the Natu, because trapping couldn't do a lot of damage to me, so I should be able to just draining kiss and heal on it, and then draining kiss again if needed. So yeah, definitely a mistake in prep, but yeah. So yeah, let's go with the matchup. I thought my best lead was Mudbray here. I saw no seal, so they didn't actually have anything from Mudbray, and nothing could kill me in one hit. Even if it was like a life orb Natu modest to Giga Drain, it couldn't kill me, and I could Rock Tomb it and then Rock Tomb again. So yeah, if they let like Nose Pass, I could Rock Tomb into Earthquake, or just set up my rocks with it. So I thought my best lead was just Mudbray. I still lead off A-Pump, which is perfect. If they click Rock Tomb, like, yeah, if they click Knock here, I can just Rock Tomb and then Rock Tomb again, and then click whatever move I want. And if they go for anything else, like it's fine, because they would take Rocky Helmet damage. And they actually click Fury Swipes and hit, and you're just gonna see on the screen that A-Pump literally just almost kills itself clicking Fury Swipes on me. And the damage keeps decreasing as it only does 1 HP by the end. And yeah, it took 80% from just hitting me with Fury Swipes, so which was pretty funny. And it didn't actually work one time, like not even once in Mox, but it was kind of cool it worked here. The Natu comes in. I could have gone Galar Miat, or maybe Anoret, but I don't know. I just stayed in because the main job of Mudbrave was to kill A-Pump. So I was like, I can get a Rock Tomb off in case this wanted to like Calm Mind or something. And it was like Calm Mind Colbur, and like my Galar Miat died because of that. Or Calm Mind Evilite, like my Galar Miat would not kill this. And I still have a Purloin to knock off. So yeah, I decided to just stay in and Rock Tomb, especially in case it was Calm Mind. Because if I switched Hard Purloin or something and they Calm Minded, it could have been tricky. So I go for Rock Tomb, and I unfortunately miss. 95% accurate move, but just, yeah. At the time, I didn't think it mattered too much, but you'll see in the game it ends up mattering quite a bit. But here, I decided to save a Mudbray just in case to get like a Rocky Helmet switch, or yeah, basically get a Rocky Helmet switch, or maybe even like come in on Nose Pass for free and threaten like a strong Earthquake or Rock Tomb or something. So I decided to go Anoret, as he goes for Heat Wave, and unfortunately for us, so I thought he would go for like Psychic or something like Heat Wave, and this reveals he wasn't invested fully, but I'm pretty sure this was a mineral on the Heat Wave with just 1 HP short of activating a Berry Juice, which is really unfortunate because now what he can do is he can go Trapinch and trap us and kill us with First Impression. If the Berry Juice activated, he wouldn't have been able to do that. But unfortunately for us now, he can go ahead and trap us. But my best play is still to go for Knock, and that gets rid of an item. So I go for Knock, as they do make the best play of going to Trapinch and trapping my Anoret, and First Impression kills, and I can't really do anything about it, which is really unfortunate. But I took this as an opportunity to go into my Purloin. It killed us Trapinch, and nothing else wanted to take the knockoff. Like if it goes Craggy, I could play her off the next turn. If it goes Spritzy, which is the ideal scenario because I want to click Gunk Shot. So yeah, he goes Spritzy, and I was really happy. Crit didn't matter because any Spritzy died to knock off into Life Orb Gunk Shot. So yeah, I get ready to fire off my Gunk Shot and I miss. So the fun set I made just for this exact scenario failed, which is really sad. And he actually clicks Moonblast, which is fair play because the moment I should reveal Life Orb, I probably had like coverage or something for this. So yeah, but this thing would have been gone with Gunk. But really unfortunate. I really wanted Purloin to put in work, especially because I've been spamming Protect, Copycat, and Knockoff. So wanted to show that I can do more than just that. But yeah, that was really, really unfortunate for us. Yeah, I go Krogunk. I doesn't really have a switch in, so I just click Poison Jab. Like if it goes Craggy, I can Vacuum Wave after, and if it goes Nose Pass, I can Drain Punch kill it. Natu doesn't really want to take the Poison Jab. yeah, trap installed as well was too weak to take it. He goes Natu. I decide to sack off my Mudbray here, expecting a Psychic. Is he does do that, and I decide to go into my Spritzy here because he's shown Psychic and Heatwave, so I thought he would be like Roost and U-turn or Roost and Dazzling Gleam. So I thought I could set up on this, and also because from the damage, he was not invested, so he's not going to do a lot to me. So I decided to Nasty Plot up here. He clicks Psychic again, as I click Draining Kiss and do 47. So this is a Eviolite and bulky, but I should be able to 1v1 it till he reads Cosmic Power. Now that is a little annoying because now I can't 1v1 this, and like this is basically going to turn into a PP stall. Since he's Cosmic Power but without Stored Power, he can't increase his damage output on me without Spadef drops, and I can't do a lot of damage to him because he's raising his Spadef. So this would basically come down to either me getting a crit or him getting Spadef drops. So at this point I decided I had to boost up to +4, +6, so that I had a so that Draining Kiss had a way of so that Draining Kiss did enough and I was able to do enough damage to this, and because I boost one stage faster than it can boost, and because I get recovery from attacking the Natu, but he has to click Roost. Another thing I had to keep in mind was if I killed the Natu, I had to make sure I was at above 50%, so that's Craggy couldn't revenge me with Iron Head. Like Adamant Iron Head would kill me at like around 40-50%, so I needed to be ahead of that because I was so far behind in the game, and anything else would have died at that point because I was +4. Like Trapinch would die, Nosepass would give me a lot of health back with Draining Kiss and without being able to kill me back. So yeah, and like if I got damage off on Nosepass, it also meant my Galarmy at 1 because its Berry Juice would have been gone. So yeah, so we just decided to do that. I'm gonna make this fast actually because it's just me setting up and him setting up and me clicking, like trying to kill this thing before it gets annoying. Click Nasty Plot again. Now I'm full and I can start clicking Draining Kiss, and I just need like good rolls or a crit to beat this thing, or like I keep getting high rolls so he can't Cosmic Power up on me again. He risks the crit and goes for another Draining Kiss and just 2 HP short. So I changed my strategy and start going for Flash Cannon, fishing for the Spadef drop, because I don't want to waste Draining Kiss as I only had like 10 more PP left and I needed it to I needed at least 2 or 3 Draining Kiss so I could beat the rest of them and get back to a good amount of health versus anything that came in if I kill this. So I go for the Flash Cannon and try to get the drops, and he keeps trying to boosting up so that he can stall out. And this is basically a PP stall now. I'm trying to stall him out of Roost, and yeah, as he can't do more than 33% to me with Psychic, so I can do Draining Kiss and get back to a good amount of damage, but he has to Roost, otherwise he'll die, which is what I do as I can Draining Kiss again and I get a good amount of health back, and I Draining Kiss one more time I believe so that I'm full, and now I can click Flash Cannon again. He clicks Psychic, I click Draining Kiss and I get back to good, and he has 4 Roost left, so right now it's looking okay. It's been unfortunate, I have clicked like 11 Flash Cannons and haven't gotten a Spadef drop. It's like a 10% chance, so I should have gotten a 1 by now. But yeah, so it's just basically it's just playing my moves correctly so that I stay at a good amount of health while killing this. But unfortunately for us, he actually gets the Spadef drop first. Like I've clicked 12 Flash Cannons and haven't gotten 1, and he's clicked like, what is that, 8 Psychics and he gets a Spadef drop, which is really unfortunate for us, because now I believe this Natu just kills us before we can kill it, and it also forces me to Draining Kiss before, and yeah, and like it forced me to Draining Kiss because Psychics was doing more, and that I run out of Draining Kiss now, so I would have lost this frag anyway, which is really unfortunate. Here I click U-turn because at this point I didn't really calc. I was like getting hacked a lot, so but he was going to go for Heatwave, which my Krogan could take. Since this is just at 1 HP, I can vacuum wave kill it. And here I had to, oh, he went Trap Hinge for some reason. I'm not really sure why. I just clicked Drain Punch and kill this thing because first impression was not doing anything and it was revealed not to be Scarf. He finally goes Craggy, shows Intimidate, which is fine. Here, my play was to hope he either goes for Choke and Dragon Dances, and that knockoff into Vacuum Wave would do enough, and that he doesn't have coverage actually for my Krogan, because if this Craggy needs to either have Iron Head for Spritzy or has Zen Headbutt for this. So I had to bank on him being Iron Head, so I go for Knock here in case he was Berry Juice, because if I Vacuum Wave, it would do like 60% and then put him back to full and he gets a Dragon Dance. So yeah, I decided to knock first so he doesn't have the Berry Juice recovery option. But he revealed Zen Headbutt, so this is GG. I just decided to like get my kill, play her off, like reduce the diff. Because Iron Head needed like because if it was Berry Juice, I needed like Iron Head to flinch maybe 2 or 3 times to kill the Scraggy, and then needed to flinch this like 2 times to win. So it was like really not in my favor. So I was like, yeah, I'll just take my kill and lose 1-0. Yeah, he goes for Earthquake and gets a crit and kills me. I don't think it mattered, but yeah. Here, like I was hacked 3 turns. I missed a Rock Tomb with Mudbray on Natu, which essentially was big because of the stall war between Spritzy and Natu. I missed a Gong Shot versus Spritzy, which would have killed it and instantly ended the game because my Purloin would be there and powerful. Yeah, then I didn't get a Spidef drop with Spritzy, even though I clicked like 12 Flash Cannons, and he got the Spidef drop with Psychic, which, like, if he didn't get a Spidef drop, I think we would have been fine. But since he got a Spidef drop, it was basically game over. So if any one of those 3 hacked returns didn't happen, I win the game. But since all 3 happened, I lost. Couldn't really do much about it. Definitely a prep mistake. I should have had Thunderbolt over Energy Ball, which would have blown back the Natu. And yeah, but yeah, even then with that build, I should have still won this game. So it was really unfortunate. If he won that, we would have actually ended the season with an all-time positive record for Clash. But that loss meant we couldn't. So that was really upsetting because I felt I played well, even despite the hacks. I tried to come back into it, and yeah. But we won this week, 5-2. I believe our standard finally piped up and like clean swept. Silver got his first win of the season as well, which was really nice. And yeah, then we actually found out that we had a small chance of making playoffs in week 7, which was really funny. For this to happen, 3 series needed to go our way, and we needed to win like 5-2. We started badly by going 0-2, but then our Aussie core of P2, Pyronox, and Skyhorse piped up on Saturday to make it 3-2, and the other results in the series also went our way on Saturday. So it looked like on Sunday we might have still had a chance of making playoffs, but unfortunately our captain GCS playing Little Cup for the first time lost a close game versus Ultra Player, another good friend of mine, and a very close game. And that ended up playoffs hopes, and we actually ended up losing the week 3-4, another like game 7 decider, which was really unfortunate. As a team perspective, we ended 2-5, but 3 or 4 games were decided game 7, which we lost. So this could have easily been a 5-2. So yeah, it was really unfortunate and like kind of upsetting. But I still had a lot of fun and I learned a lot. Like OG Albina is the Little Cup GOAT, had a lot of fun like being his Little Cup partner in crime. GCS as well is a really good captain with like a lot of good team building insight. Sure. On an individual level, we finished the season 4-2 and ended top 10 in Little Cup players. If we didn't get hacks, like both of our losses were due to hacks. And like unlike my games where I had like 1 or 2 turns of hacks, um, my games both of them I lost because there were like 3 turns of hacks, and if any of them, even one of them didn't happen, I would have won. So that was a little disappointing, like and upsetting. And if I actually don't get hacks, I would actually be first by record. My differential would be higher. So, which is kind of unfortunate. Overall, we still like top 25, which is cool. So this was actually like really good because first season of Clash we went 0-3. So we were able to come back and do well this season, which was nice. We also went for like 19k, so it was it was good to like show that we were kind of worth it. Like hopefully, for shout outs, of course to the captains GCS and OG Albina. Great team sport, great captains, great players. GCS was a little unlucky and but OG Albina played like fantastic. It was superb in Little Cup and superb in the one standard game he played. He was always there with mocks, and GCS was always there with like team suggestions and mocks as well. He also played really well in the Little Cup game. Like even though he lost, he learned he learned how to play in like a day basically. So that's pretty cool. Shuckle King was like the GOAT in low tier. Amazing player. Technically he's 2-2 and then his stall team 0-2, so like which Silver again, great dude. Always was there to provide team support as well as like mocks for Lil Cup. Amazing dude. Had an unfortunate season, but like he's still the GOAT. Sky Horse, one of my best friends. He pulled all the best players, so he got really unlucky there, and he didn't. Yeah, but he was always there with mocks and like team suggestions. Most of the fire sets that we GHQ brought were because of him. Brown, also a GOAT. We picked him up at mid. Always there with team support and mocks, even when he was busy. He gave me Little Cup mocks, even though he didn't know the format. So, huge shout outs to him. Pyronox as well. Piped up whenever like we needed him. Played really well. I actually never beat him in a mock, so yeah, I don't know how to beat him in a mock. He's just too good. Peachy Bros as well, goated. Again, he gave me Little Cup mocks, even though he was like he didn't understand the Little Cup meta, he said, but he would always be there for mocking and yeah, good team support. Then Webster's a crypto, like they helped with mocks and stuff, like team support. So and everyone was there to like cheer on our team. So HQ was really wholesome. This was a pretty good season. Like even though we lost, I had a lot of fun, and I wouldn't like ask to be changed. Like I was happy with the team, and like I had a lot of fun. It was draining for sure, but it's also rewarding to see all your efforts go well. I'll be back for Clash Season 3, and hopefully I'll be captains with my friend Sky. So yeah, until then, see you and have a good day.